Hey everyone, this is Steve from GamersNexus.net, and today we are looking at the upcoming Kickstarter project Artizens, which aims to centralize character customization within the core gameplay mechanics. This 4-player co-op action RPG grants players the unique ability to draw their own equipment and tweak each aspect of their character. There are no classes, no skill tree, there are no setting restrictions, so if you want to be a shotgun-wielding pirate who particularly loves his steampunk-styled jump boots, you could certainly do that. This is sort of the central point to Artizens, and I think it's a very intriguing approach to game design, despite the fact that it seems somewhat obvious once you've heard it. The reason creative-driven games like Minecraft are successful is their show-and-tell factor. In Minecraft, you can show a non-gaming friend your creation, and he can appreciate it by a simple Lego comparison. And it's a very visual, customization-driven game that appeals to the creative mind, and doesn't particularly require a gaming skill set to enjoy deeply. To the same tune, although entirely different gameplay, Artizens fills the creative desire by offering players the option to use their favorite art tools for asset generation, much the same way a game developer would add content to the game. Because there are no class or setting restrictions, you can be any character you want, made up or pre-existing. So if you want to recreate the cast of Firefly with your friends, you could do that from a visual standpoint, and perhaps even somewhat mechanically. Each character has 12 total item or buff slots. There are 6 active slots for weaponry and gadgetry, and then another 6 passive slots for buffs and armor. Each item in the game is not only customizable visually, but also statistically, where players can utilize bits and pieces dropped from enemies to mod their equipment. For instance, if a scorpion drops its tail, you might be able to somehow work that into the stats of your sword, like adding a poison attribute. From what I understand, and keep in mind the game isn't complete yet, so from what I understand, it seems that players should have a fairly limitless number of mods that can be applied to each item, though these are balanced by tight pro-con modifiers, so hopefully there won't be too much overbalanced stuff, although certainly it will be found. The upgrades in the game are gained through progression in the wilderness regions and by completing missions. Artizens seems a bit more promising than the standard Kill X of Monster Y quest, though, well, at least I hope it is, but they list a couple of different quest types in their website, and first of all, levels are broken up into horizontally scrolling areas. Each level will have something like 10 areas altogether, so there are effectively 10 subscreens of the level, and monsters will intelligently move around within those 10 areas. So if a mob feels outmatched, it may retreat to another area of the level to collect its spirits and prepare a new assault. Enemies are also reactive to player actions and movements in combat, so they're not just Goomba-like patrollers. In the admitted style of Mega Man, Artizens' enemies will have weak points and reinforced points, so a scorpion's tail, once again to use that example, might be the best target when trying to disable its ability to damage you and send it cowering to another area. The same goes for limbs of giants and stuff like that. Each of these mobs will drop upgrade items that can then be applied to your weapons, and with any luck, combat should be fun and dynamic enough in co-op mode that it augments the core customization component. If you look at APB, very customizable game, holy disappointment that it was so bad in terms of gameplay, it was just way off balanced. So these things can certainly go wrong, but with a bit of luck and enough playtesting, hopefully the game will work out very well. Combat, as I see it now, seems like it will be more of a means to achieve the reward rather than the direct reward itself, which is also similar in games like APB. Aside from apparel and weaponry, players can also customize pets, so you could add your own cat or iron golem to the game, or dragon or whatever. Turrets are also there. Mechanically speaking, the customization tweaks made by imbuing weaponry with mods will sort of speak to the playstyle common in tabletop games due to their limitless nature, and by mixing and matching any mods you'd like with any gadget or weapon you'd like, it's entirely possible you could stumble across a completely unique, never-before-tried combination of powers that happens to be very powerful or entirely powerless. Either way, making for gameplay that potentially no one has experienced before. MMOs have the ability combinations that they can be quite fun when discovered alone, but there's a technical limit to the depth available in games of such large scopes as MMOs. With Artizens, the idea is to centralize around this concept, making it more mechanically deep and immersive than other games we're used to. The devs made a few comparisons to tabletop RPGs and Magic the Gathering, which really speaks to the combo potential of the options that they're implementing. There's a lot more to know about the game, but unfortunately that's all the time I have for now, so check out the description below for a full link to the article and the Kickstarter campaign. They've still got 24 or 5 days left, so you have some time to make a decision, and I will see you all next time. Peace.